Rainier in the distance. There are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's a pleasing run there by Travis Etienne. And every time I see him carry it, I think of the word mature. Why? 4 full seasons at Clemson. Not something you normally get with a running back. Had almost 5,000 yards rushing, the school record, along with 70 rushing touchdowns. That's both the school record and ACC record. The second running back taken in the draft after Najee Harris from Alabama, number 25 overall. He's now wearing number 1 in the NFL after wearing number 9 at Clemson. He loves those single digits.
Second and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. On play action, Lawrence. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. Well, we saw Trevor Lawrence take plenty of deep shots in his days at Clemson, and he shows off that cannon of an arm here as a rookie at the NFL level.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So the assignment, a tough one here for this defense. You've got a quarterback ranked in the top 5 in passing yards. What do they need to do to try to keep him under wraps?
Well, they didn't sleep a whole lot getting ready for this one. I can guarantee you there's just so much to combat. But I think they're going to zero in on taking away his top target. Double, triple him if they have to. Make the other guys rise up and try and beat them. They'll feel a whole lot better if those guys win in the routes instead of their number 1 guy.
Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On first down, here's Breida. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. To throw is Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to take over at their own 41. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Etienne on the toss right. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Lawrence will throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Benson Mayowa able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself.
And shutting him off, now open field. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Throwing is Wilson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to second and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is third and goal. Here's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
Here's a fast release by Wilson out to the flat. A great open field tackle that's going to stop him shy of the goal line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Play action. It's Lawrence. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And the Jaguars are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A give to Etienne running right. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Lawrence, now this is Etienne on the draw. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. They find some open field here. The 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Al Woods able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 22-yard line.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Wilson. That's taken in by Eskridge, complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and 10. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now it's Wilson. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 14. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Lawrence giving to ETN here on the option. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
First down, Jacksonville. Hey.
On first down, Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with ETN. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Again, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A second and 10 now. A give, it's ETN off the option. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, and now third and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On third down, Lawrence. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly. Blitz coming, and down he goes. K'Lavon Chason charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21. Here's Wilson. Check down to Breida. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson to throw. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
To throw again is Wilson. Flush to his right. finding room to the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result, right?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Jags are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Man open, here is Jones. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Sharks got it, left side. Sheds off the tackle, and he'll be out right at the 35.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
On the move to his left. And out across midfield down to the 45.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Wilson on 1st down. And that's going to be caught, Dwayne Eskridge. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson will throw again. He'll find Eskridge here complete. Touchdown! Dwayne Eskridge with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. On the slant, this is Chark. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. From the 45 on 2nd down, Lawrence. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Laviska Shenault. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. They'll try and throw for it. It's complete. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the rookie, Andre Sisco. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Off the option, here's Etienne. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Lawrence will throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. After the interception, here's Wilson. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So this will be a win